Good afternoon, everybody. What I want to talk to you about today is the business case for having a diverse and inclusive workplace and workforce. And certainly my belief and our leadership's belief is that it's a moral imperative, it's the right thing to do, but more importantly, it really is a business imperative. There is a business case for diversity and inclusion, and we believe that it certainly reflects our target client audience. So it is not a winning strategy to broadly deselect large groups of the population. You wouldn't do that in terms of attracting new clients, and so it certainly doesn't make sense to do that in terms of your talent agenda as well. So for us, diversity and inclusion supports our core values. One of our most important core values is that people matter. We also know that it enhances our employment brand. For those of you who are out attracting millennials, it's a very important issue for them in terms of making sure that you have different points of view and perspectives in addition to gender and ethnicity. We also know that, and studies have proven this as well, that a more diverse and inclusive culture drives higher engagement, and that in turn drives higher customer satisfaction and profitability as well. And at the end of the day, it's built on a principle of meritocracy. What we mean by that is that the best person still has to get the job, but I do fundamentally believe that as you start to widen the funnel and increase the pipeline, that will self-correct itself over time. So that's a little bit about why we think it's important. In terms of what we've done, in terms of our approach, we've taken very much what we call an organic approach at TD Ameritrade, as opposed to a top-down approach where you appoint a chief diversity officer and you have an edict from on high coming down. And we really focus on four things. First of all, it's very value-based, and we very much focus on outcomes where we have a lot of small wins that leads to progress over time, or said another way, it's about putting singles on the board and just making incremental progress, and you start to score some runs. So that's my World Series joke for the day. And we really value visible diversity in terms of gender and ethnicity, but we also look for people who bring different backgrounds, perspectives, and ideas to the table. Again, with the thought process that the more ideas you have, the better solutions you're going to have in terms of the right business decisions. It's very much a grassroots effort, so we've got high engagement from our associate base, but it's supported by our leadership team. And we also feel it's very important that you recognize those who are role modeling those behaviors at all levels. So how do we actually do that? So, we really have set up a structure that's very collaborative, and it's more broad than it is top down, as I mentioned before. And we've got a diversity and inclusion steering committee. These are all volunteer leaders who are passionate about this topic. And they give discretionary effort, and I've got about 26 people who have volunteered for that. And so they've said to me, "Hey, Karen, why don't you have a chief diversity officer?" And I say, "What do I need one chief diversity officer for when I've got 26 of you right in the room?" So we share that goal, and we also have geographic chapters, which is really various different local associate resource groups, and they give discretionary time and effort as well. We've made some really meaningful progress on this journey. This journey is about 6 or 7 years old for TD Ameritrade, and we really have focused on three pillars. One is recruiting. You have to start hiring different types of people and different types of faces in order to change the dial over time. Brokerage, and certainly retail brokerage, is very white and very male, so you're going to start to change that mix over time by bringing different people in. So So you have to change the mix, and then once you start to change the mix, you actually have to make sure that the mix is working well together, and that's really the inclusion part of the journey. And then you have to tell those stories as well. That's education, that's awareness, that's support, but that's also like with any change management effort, you have to, communicate, keep telling the story, and reinforcing those desired behaviors. So we're starting to make some progress in terms of the pipeline, as I mentioned earlier. A lot of focus on bringing in new types of people in terms of campus graduates, university graduates, through our talent programs. My recruiters all have to deliver diverse candidate slates. They have numbers, and it's also it's a two-way contract. Our managers, if a hiring manager gets 10 white males, it's their job as well to say where are my diverse candidates as well. So it really drives accountability. We've got workforce leaders that are actually starting to set goals for themselves that are quantitative and qualitative, and we've been very involved in terms of we've got an enterprise-wide diversity and inclusion day where we do pieces of it nationally, we do pieces of it locally as well, and again, reinforcing the right behaviors. We're very proud of the fact that for the second year in a row, we won the best places to work for LGBT equality with a 100% score, and we now currently march in 6 pride parades across the country, and so we're very proud of what we have accomplished, but we're never at end of job on this journey, and we'll continue to forge ahead. Thank you for listening.